All right, hi guys. So I guess I did a dress rehearsal. I thought that I was recording, but I wasn't, so here I am. All right, time management. Yay, I get to do this again. Time management is the first video by the way, my name is Tara. For those of you who don't know my name is Tara and I am a student here at University of the People. I am one term plus from graduating, and so I'm very excited graduating the BSc and BA program, and then I'll move on to the Masters of Education. Anyway, I want to do a video series for you with a number of topics. And the very first one, obviously the most important, is time management. If you can't manage your time, you're not going to be able to be successful because you're always going to be in reactive mode. And if there's one thing that I can stress to you, it is get into a proactive mode. Number one, it'll help with your studies, and number two, it will help in life. When you can plan ahead and you can even plan for those contingencies where you don't know, you can't anticipate somebody going into the hospital or the washing machine breaking down and flooding your kitchen, and your day is wasted on cleaning that up and getting the repairman and all that. So being proactive and scheduling your time is vital, crucial, so important. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right. I know because I've registered for my classes, I know long before the term starts how many classes I have. Okay, so we're going to work with this term that we're in right now. Before the classes began, I knew I was taking 4 classes. Yep, I'm nuts. I am completely insane. We all know that. All right, so the first thing that I do is I go to the syllabus repository, and most of the classes are pretty good about it. Some of them don't have all of the information, but I've learned to kind of work with what I have, right? All right, so I'm old school, paper and pencil, paper and pen, and colorful pen, but paper and pen works great for me. So first thing I do is I start with the classes that I have. So History 1421 is Greek and Roman civilization. I go through the syllabus, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, those are the weeks. I go through and write in letters. So LG is learning guide. That's where I find out what my readings are. The WA is written assignment. DF is discussion forum. PAWA, peer assessment of written assignments. SQ, self-quiz. GQ, graded quiz. And LG, learning journal. Okay, so those are all the different acronyms that I need to be able to fill out my schedule. So I go through week 1. Do I have PAWA? Nope, didn't have a written assignment last week. How can I assess anything? So I've got LGs, and then the DF, discussion forum, written assignment, learning journal. In that class, unfortunately, I don't think we have a single one. There are no self-quizzes, so that's kind of scary. So I write all of those initials down, and then I do that for the whole week. So obviously in week 2, if we had a written assignment in week 1, you've got a PAWA in week 2. So I go through and I write all of those down for the whole 9 weeks. Week 9 obviously is just the final. I also, from the syllabus is your friend, guys. Read every single one of them in every single class. You get so much information from it. Yes, some of it is repeated. We all know what a written assignment is. We all know what the learning journal is, blah, blah, blah. But these numbers are crucial. I know in this class, my learning journal is 10% of my grade. My graded quizzes are 20% of my grade, or 10% each, because we have 2 of them. I know that my discussion forum is 10%. Written assignments are 10%, and my final is 30%. Okay, so if, God forbid, we get into a time crunch and we have to decide, do I do the discussion forum or do I do the written assignment, knowing how long they're going to take, which one counts for more points? Hopefully you are proactive and that never becomes an issue. But again, this information is good information to have. So I do that for all the classes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And so now I know at a glance, what assignments do I have this week? Do I have a written assignment? Do we have a graded quiz? Most of the time you'll have a graded quiz in week 3 and week 6. There are exceptions to that rule. Ethics and social responsibility has 3 quizzes. I think it was 3, 5, and 7. And then business law and ethics, if I remember right, had the quizzes in 4 and 7 instead of 3 and 6. And business 3306 has them in 4 and 7 as well instead of 3 and 6. So again, it's not, every class is not exactly the same. Okay, so I know, do I have written assignments this week? Yes, no. Do I have peer assessments of written assignments? Yes, no. All that information is right there for me to glance at and to cross off as I get them done. All right, so going into the time management. It is just before the term is ready to start. I have done this. Now I'm going to grab a calendar. And again, I'm old school, so I just have one of the big at a glance calendars on my desk, and I go through and write every single, our weeks start on Thursday morning at midnight, U of People time, and they run all the way through Wednesday night the following week. So I go through and I write down my work schedule. I teach English online. Most of my students are in China. Some of them are in the US. I go through and write all of that, block all that time out. I know if it's a 50-minute lesson, I know I've got to have half an hour prep, half an hour wrap up. So that's the time where I get the lesson ready for them. I email them or send them through WeChat the lesson that we're going to be using or any information they need. And then in the last half hour, the wrap up, that's when I give the parents feedback, give them the homework, let them know how the class went and what I need them to work on for next week. Okay, so I block off all of that time, scheduled time. Obviously, we need time for hygiene and showering and breakfast and commuting. I don't have to commute, yay. So I don't have to add that into my time, but I do schedule out, the prep time that I need in the morning, how long to shower and get myself ready and make my coffee and have my breakfast and be ready to go. So all of that is blocked out. So your work schedule, if your work schedule never changes, then you just do that for every single week. It's very easy. I work 8 to 5, so I'm going to block out 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. If your schedule changes, like mine can, I will have students contact me all the time saying, hey, we've got a birthday party at 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock Chinese time is 7 o'clock in the morning, my time here in Czech Republic. So we've got a birthday party. Is there any chance you could do it earlier? Yes, of course we can. How about 9 o'clock in the morning? Oh, wow, that's like 2 o'clock in the morning in my time. So, being able to be flexible is something that I enjoy more sometimes than not others. So I schedule all of that, all of your work hours, commute time, any work events. This time of year, you probably have office parties and other events, so schedule all of that, okay? Next thing you're gonna schedule is any appointments, doctor's appointments, eye doctor appointments, interviews, anything that you know you have going on in that next 9 weeks, you're going to schedule it out. Okay? If you have young children and they have piano lessons on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, you're going to schedule everything you can think of. Write it out in your schedule. Block out that time. Those hours are not available. Okay, after all of that, now you're going to put in any life events, any birthday parties. It's the holiday season, any holiday parties that you are attending, any anniversaries, anything life related that is going to need your attention, you're going to block it out. Okay. There's a few reasons for this. The first reason is because now you see it on your calendar, number one, so you can remember those anniversaries, guys, or the birthdays, or whatever might be going on. And obviously you're going to want to communicate with your significant other if you're not great at remembering all of this stuff. Okay, enough said. All right. So now you have scheduled out all of the birthday parties. You know, Auntie May and Uncle Fred's anniversary party is 3 weeks from now on Saturday. You're going to be gone from 2 to 5 in the afternoon. Okay, you've got all that scheduled out. So now your time is dwindling down, right? You're looking at your calendar going, how am I supposed to study? Well, we're not quite there yet. The next thing that you're going to schedule is your fun time, your downtime, okay? Minimum 3 hours a week. 3 hours of just you time. And this is time where you get to do what you want to do. This time isn't used for Uncle Fred and Aunt May's birthday party. It's not used for getting the dog groomed. It's not used for anything like that. It is used for you time. You are embarking on advanced education. If you don't reward yourself, you will burn yourself. Okay? We have to have these little rewards built into our schedule so that it kind of refuels us. It keeps us going. People ask me all the time, how in the hell do you do what you do? It's because I reward myself. I know that every Friday night from 6 to 9 o'clock, I enjoy my glasses of wine and I watch a movie or two because I have done the work that I need to do and this is my reward. So we'll get to that. So you schedule your reward time, minimum 3 hours. If you can do an hour or 2 hours every day and still have time for work and family and all that stuff, great, go for it. But minimum 3 hours a week, okay? And that time is non-negotiable. You are either alone or with the person that you want to spend that time with. Maybe it is you and your son putting together model cars or model airplanes, or you and your daughter playing Barbies or tea time or whatever it is, whatever is your juice. This should be your juice, okay? If you love to read, reading a good book, if it's music, listening to great music, it is your time, okay? Enough said. Sorry. Another thing. Lemon water. Stay hydrated. Keep water right by your workstation as you are studying because it is so easy to get dehydrated. And when you're dehydrated, your brain doesn't work. You can read and think you're studying and there's no retention. So water, water, water. Okay. So now you have all of that time scheduled. You look at your calendar, you know what hours you sleep. So those are all blocked off too. What's left is the time that's available for study. You're going to look at it and go, there's no way. I can't do it. Yes, you can. Number one, why? What is your why? That is the most important thing. And you need to get really clear on it. Why are you doing this? Especially if you have kids, a spouse, parents who live with you, other relatives who live with you, it is going to be so easy to get distracted, dejected, and leave. But if you are focused, if you know why you do what you do, you're going to stay laser focused. You're going to make the time. You're going to have the conversations with the people in your life and say, you know what? You know I love you. This I'm doing for this reason. And because of that, I can't be bothered during this time. Okay? It's like when I was growing up, my mom, every Sunday night from 7 to 10, she was in the bathtub with wine, candles. The door was locked, and we knew we did not bother her unless the house was on fire or we were going to be on fire. So, again, just know your why. Why are you doing this? Write that in big letters, put it where you need to, get crystal clear on it. If it's an end goal, mine is to own my own English institute. That goal is emblazoned in my mind. I have played it in my mind. I smell the smells. I see the place. I see the children. I hear what's going on. Use all of your senses. I taste the foods that they bring to me to try and the foods that we cook, because obviously being a chef, I will use cooking to teach English. So just getting crystal clear on your why. All right, so now we've got those hours left. Now we get to start studying. All right. The biggest mistake people make when it comes to study time is, number one, they think they've got to have big chunks of time, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Most of us don't have that time. And the research has shown that we learn much better in 30-minute brackets of time than we do in a 3-hour period. Now, I am the weirdo. I had my learning style kind of evaluated, and we found that I'm the outlier. I'm the misnomer. I am the one that skews the results, because most people, when you sit down to study, okay, you have your books or you have your laptop open, however you're going to do your reading, you know what you're going to do. I'm going to knock out the learning guide. I'm going to read everything, and I'm going to do my discussion forum, and I've got 90 minutes to do it. You open it up, you get to work, you start reading, and you maybe take some notes, and you sit there for an hour and a half, and you get everything done, and you hit send, post on your discussion forum, and you're exhausted. And unfortunately, you've just wasted about 80 of those 90 minutes because you're studying wrong. The way to study, the most effective way for you to study, is in 30-minute increments, no more. This is the reason. When you sit down ready to study, your energy, your focus, your mental clarity is as good as it's going to get. Okay? So when you sit down, this is the time where you are going to be laser focused on what it is that you're doing. And as time goes on, we see most people, again, I'm the outlier, most people start here, and after about 5 to 10 minutes, they start doing this. And so if you're doing that for an hour and a half, where are you within 90 minutes? You're in the basement. You're actually working against yourself. So what research has shown is that 30-minute periods work the best, okay? Now, not just 30 minutes, but the structure of that 30 minutes. The first 5 minutes, you are going to open up that textbook, open up that file that you're going to read, and you're going to review or preview the chapter title, the headings of each section of the chapter, and then if there are any section summaries or chapter summaries, unlike a novel where you do not want to read the ending first, you do want to read the endings first in textbooks, right? Because what's at the end of the section or at the end of the chapter? A summary. What was the most important information? So we're going to read that. So the headings, any bolded words, so vocabulary words. A lot of textbooks will highlight or bold the new vocabulary words or the important words. So you're going to pay attention to that. You're not taking any notes yet. No pen or paper in hand, no anything. You're just reading it. Just looking at the titles of the sections, looking at the bolded words, and then reading the chapter summary or the section summary. Some books have section summaries, okay? Now, that's 5 minutes. Now you go back to the beginning and you read. And you're only going to read for 20 minutes. Set a timer, look at the clock, do whatever you need to do to make sure that it's only 20 minutes. Again, I'm doing this for your own good so that you can absorb and keep as much of your material as possible, okay? So 20 minutes, you read, you can stay focused for 20 minutes, hopefully, and you will get the most out of it. Your energy will stay up and all that. Okay, so after 20 minutes, what do you think comes next? You're going to review. Review what you just read. You think, why would I review it? I just read it. This is the genius part. Okay, so in the beginning, in the first 5 minutes, we previewed. We looked at all the headings. We saw the bolded words. We read the summary. Then we went back and we actually read the chapter, which means we've read the titles a second time. We've seen the highlighted words a second time. We've read the summary a second time. Now in our 5-minute review, we're going to read those highlights or those headings and the bolded words and the chapter review again. That's 3 times. 3 is the magic number. 3 is the number of times that research has shown it takes us to actually get it into our memory, okay? We need to see a word, hear the concept, see the concept 3 times. Now, when you're doing this review, it's not just reading this time, okay? So during the 20 minutes, you maybe took some notes, wrote down the bolded words that you need to know the definitions for, and so forth. Now, in your review, when you go to those to the headings, say the heading is, one of mine today was horizon scanning. It's in the leadership class and we're learning about horizon scanning. We're learning about foresight, kind of like foreshadowing. We want to know what's coming in our future. So what's on the horizon, okay? So now I've seen that heading and I can question myself. What does the concept of horizon scanning mean? Now I take a minute and in my own words, I teach the water bottles, I teach the washing machine, I teach whoever, you know, my invisible student. You are now teaching that concept. And this puts it into your own words, which will help move it from short-term memory to long-term memory. Okay. So that is your 30 minutes of study time. 5 minutes preview, 20 minutes reading, note-taking, 5 minutes review. Then you're going to take a break. 5-minute break. No less, no more. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Get a snack, fill your water glass, do something fun. If you like music, listen to a song, get up and dance. I have my yoga studio set up in my living room, so I might go jump rope or I might go do a couple of yoga poses, or my chair, you might notice that I am bouncing. My chair is actually my yoga ball. It's a great big yoga ball. And this way I'm exercising the backside while I'm sitting. But so my 5-minute break, I'll go jump rope or do something to get the blood flowing again, because sitting, of course, you can move into this position where your posture is bad and then your blood isn't flowing and your energy will drop. Okay, so 5 minutes of play, whatever you want to do. Grab a snack, grab some water, make some coffee, do whatever, 5 minutes. Then when you come back, Your first 5 minutes, preview the next sections, again, going back to the beginning, previewing, looking at bolded words, reading the chapter summary or the section summary. And you do that in 30-minute segments for however long your study period is. If you've only got 30 minutes, okay, you're done. You go on to whatever it is that you have to do. Take the kids to ball practice or whatever. Okay, so you do that in 30-minute brackets. So now you can go back to your schedule and put in, okay, I've got 30 minutes, I've got 4 classes, I estimated about 15 hours a week for 2 of the classes and 10 hours a week for the other 2 classes. So I need a minimum of 30, 40, 50 hours of studying time. So on top of working, 50 hours of study time. So now I went through and I scheduled those times. I know on what days I'm doing what. And I am extremely proactive. I do not want to be reactive. Reactive is where something happens and now you've got to change your schedule. You've got to, make it fit. I don't want to be that. I want to be proactive. I want to get everything done early. And then if something does happen, I've got some play. I've got some free time. I can make that happen. So I schedule all of my university work from Thursday, when our week begins, to Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One day, one class. I try and get and now I'm kind of revamping that, and I'm doing all of the reading and then the learning discussion forum for the class. And I'll do 1 or 2 of those on day 1, the other 2 day 2, and then I can concentrate on the written assignments for all 4 classes on days 3 and 4, along with the learning journals and posting your comments to the discussion forums, because nobody posts before Sunday anyway. So, all right. I've got about 2.5 minutes left in this video. I want to keep them at about 30 minutes or less if I can, so bear with me. So for the last couple minutes, what I want to talk about is your, again, it's still related to your schedule, but making sure that you have rewards. Okay, so we have our term right now. We're just getting into week 4. So week 4 is what? It's the halfway point. We are almost 50% done. When you're done with your assignments for this week, you are 50% done with this term. Yay! Okay, so we need a reward. And so you schedule that. And if money is, you don't have an extra penny to spend, okay, make it something free. Make it, get creative. It might be that you will watch a movie and, snuggle with your partner, or it might be you're going to give yourself 2 hours of outside time if you're a nature person. If I were at the beach, I would definitely schedule beach time. Unfortunately, I'm landlocked in the Czech Republic, but whatever it might be for you. If you can afford to go to the spa and you like to go to the spa, you go get a massage, or you go shopping, retail therapy. It might just be as simple as a pint of ice cream, maybe your favorite ice cream, or you're going to make a dish together with a child or a parent or your significant other, whatever it is that will be a reward for you. And again, you schedule that. Schedule it now so that you have that to look forward to. Because when we have those little goals to look forward to, it makes the big goal much easier to take. Okay, so I only have 30 seconds left. I'm going to close this video. Hopefully the video series will be 30 minutes or less. And what I need from you is some feedback. Let me know, was this too long? Was it not long enough? Was it too informative, too much information, or not enough information? Do you need clarification on something? All right, I hope this helps. I am here with you. Figure out your why and get that schedule done.